Good evening. It's good to be with you again, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yes, it is. And let's start straight away with news of another scandal. A Sunday newspaper has in its possession a picture of the Prime Minister in a very embarrassing and compromising position. He is fully clothed and shaking hands with President Nixon.
And President Nixon told a congressional committee today that he had not taken a lie detector test. If there was one missing, it had been taken without his knowledge.
In Dublin today, police raided the printing press of Ireland's most brilliant forger and took away 2 million £7 notes.
Whilst at a football pool's Federation fancy dress ball, a young lady arrived entirely naked except for a cross marked on each bosom. She explained that she was a chest of drawers.
At St Andrews today, Raquel Welch had a hole in one, and a very interesting split in the other.
We understand... We understand that many people in Chorley are suffering from foreign interference. There's little you can do about it, but watch out for a Frenchman with a feather on a stick.
President Amin and his personal witch doctor arrived today in a mumbo-jumbo jet.
Yes, and when the captain of the Guard of Honor called out, "Eyes right," the president replied, "No, man, you's wrong, eyes right." And shot him.
And now for a sketch about 3 elephants and a coat hanger.
But for economy reasons, we're going to do without the coat hanger. Hello, I want to join the library.
Do you mind not shouting, please?
I can't help shouting.
Please, talk quietly.
I can't talk quietly, that's why I want to join the library. I want a copy of a book entitled How Not to Shout.
Chief Librarian.
Thank you very much indeed.
Mr. Simpson,
Yes?
this gentleman wants a book called How Not to Shout.
What?
This gentleman wants a book called How Not to Shout.
There's no such book.
Oh, yes, there is.
I don't know.
It's called How Not to Shout.
No, there's a book called How to Shout Louder, or How to Shout Terrifically Loud, that's a very good one, or How to Scream at the top
No, I don't want to shout.
What?
I want to stop shouting. That's why I want a copy of the book entitled How Not to Shout.
Yes, there is. I've got it here, and I'm reading it.
Is it any good?
I don't know. I've only read the first chapter.
Well, do hurry up and finish it. I'd like to read it next.
I ought to read it next.
Shut up!
No, I want to read it.
I asked for it first.
Look, I'm the chief librarian. I need to read it.
It didn't do me any good.
Shut up! I'm trying to read. Please, this is a library.
I ought to read it first.
Look, you don't even belong to this library.
That's not fair.
The second chapter is called Shouting Quietly.
Oh.
Quiet!
Shut up.
Shut up!
Shut up!
I want it.
Please!
It's no good you're saying this. You're making more noise than I'm going to do.
Yeah, you all keep quiet. This is a library. That's better. Now then, we haven't got the book.
In that case, could I have a copy of a book entitled How to Control Yourself in a Library?
I'm afraid that's out.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I've got a copy in my office. That's my personal copy.
Thank you very much indeed.
It won't help you. I've read it myself. It didn't do an atom of good. Did an atom of good. Did it, Agnes?
I'm your examiner. I'll be with you in a couple of ticks.
I don't. Oh, dear. What do you got there?
Parachute.
A parachute?
A parachute, Mr. Aspinall. Don't question my decisions, Mr. Aspinall. All it needs for you to do is to take a wrong turning in the multi-story car park, a few circuits, and there we are teetering on the edge of infinity. That's why I brought a parachute, Mr. Aspinall. You'll learn that is the secret of good driving. Intelligent anticipation. Now, to the best of your knowledge, Mr. Aspinall, have you suffered from any notifiable disease?
No.
Have you any history of emotional instability?
Certainly not.
You can tell us, you know. The depths of the human psyche are an open book to we at the Ministry of Transport.
Look, there's no cogs loose in our family, thank you very much. What are you doing? Is all that necessary?
You wouldn't ask a question like that, Mr. Aspinall, if you had been driven through Woolworths on a busy Saturday like I've been driven through. Now, a few preliminaries. As a general rule, if I scream, I would like you to regard it as an instruction to reduce your road speed. Now, if I tap the fascia thus, once, it means that I want you to drive with care because I've got my eyes closed. And if I tap the fascia twice, thus, it means I am trusting you implicitly, Mr. Aspinall, and allowing you to move into second gear. Now, you'll probably hear some wind noise because I prefer to drive with the door slightly open. Now, you'll get used to that, but should you hear it close, drive with care because it means I've gone. And you're on your own, Aspinall.
Look, I'm all right. I'm all right. Aren't I?
Well, thank goodness we're not crossing the Sahara, but it should get you through the high street, all right.
Charming, isn't it?
Now, if you should feel it stopping, I'd like you to give me a clear warning, if you would.
Oh, dear old Lord. Haven't we got any plasma?
No, that's in the emergency pack. Oh, by the way, if you should have to give me a transfusion, for God's sake, don't get the bottles mixed up. There's some brake fluid in there. And you'll find my blood group tattooed just below the left ventricle, just to the left of the dripping dagger and the scroll saying to death or glory.
Please, because the highway code is receding further back every minute.
Eager for the fray, are you? Bet you've been at it a while. I've seen the flower of the Ministry of Transport cut off in his prime. Young Bucknell from Welling went out to here one Saturday morning with a slip of the girl, came back completely gone out of his mind. They found him right up a post by a zebra crossing, singing Nearer My God to Thee. Right, now pay attention. When I signal thus, it means we're going to turn to our right. When I signal thus, it means we're going to turn to our left. When I do this, it means give me 2 of the blue tablets from my top left-hand breast pocket. With a glass of water from the flask in the emergency pack, right? Now, come on, let's get going. Oh, by the way, should I divest myself thus, it means that we are approaching a harbour area, and I would like you to Mr. Aspinall, will you come back here? Mr. Aspinall, come back! They're always doing this. They don't like me, you know. It's because I speak too well. Mr. Aspinall, come back here, you racist! Come back here!
The care of the sick is a very worthwhile subject for study, and a knowledge of first aid is a must for everyone today. 80% of accidents happen in the home. The most important thing to remember in first aid is to keep the patient calm. Don't try to remedy the situation yourself. Simply lie the patient down, cover with a blanket, and get them to drink plenty of hot, sweet tea. Calmness is the keynote always when dealing with a patient. A blanket bath, for instance, can be an unnerving experience if a person is unused to it. When bandaging an injured limb, do not do so in such a way that the limb is difficult to cope with. If an arm is bandaged correctly, it can often still be gainfully employed. Cheerfulness is a great asset. But remember that one must never treat a patient's disability too lightly. Remember, the patient is concerned about his ailment, and never subject him to undue pressure. Make sure you know how to handle equipment properly and that it's in a safe condition. Finally, be attentive at all times to the needs of the patient. And never be caught off guard for a moment. Remember, he's in your hands.
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest for this evening, Dana.
Where is the love? 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 Where is the love you said you'd give to me soon as you were free? Will it ever be? Where is the love? You told me that you didn't love her and you were gonna say goodbye. But if you really didn't mean it, why did you have to lie? Where is the love? 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 Where is the love you said was mine, oh mine, till the end of time? Was it just a lie? Where is the love? If you have had a sudden change of heart, I wish that you would tell me so. Don't leave me hanging on to promises. You've gotta let me know. Where is the love? Oh, how I wish I'd never met you. I guess it must have been my fate to fall in love with someone else's love. All I can do is wait. Oh, where is the love? 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 Where is the love?
Good evening again, and thank you for all your letters and, and kind inquiries about my family, etc. I'm pleased to be able to say that my wife's rather delicate health has improved. We did have a little upset yesterday when I took her for a row on the Serpentine, and halfway across she went down with scurvy. And we've discovered that it was our Swedish au pair who killed the milkman. It took her a little time, but she did it. Then we've had some more trouble. We've had some more trouble with our new house. The cement was too weak and people were stealing the bricks. Then the front door died of Dutch elm disease. Not a pretty sight. I don't know if you've ever stood there and watched your knocker dropping off. Not very nice at all. The kiddies, however, are doing very well at the first year at school. I say very well. It's one of these progressive schools, where the children go to school when they feel like going to school. And they haven't actually been there yet. Well, they haven't actually been inside, By the way, I heard I said that rather funnily. By the way, I was going to, instead of by the way, I heard a very interesting theory from Mrs. Margaret Thatcher when I was having a quick one with her in our local yesterday. She said that if you can get your children to run 3 miles every morning and 3 miles every evening, by the end of the week, they could be 42 miles away. By the way, that's not the Margaret Thatcher who is well known for getting up in Parliament. That is the Margaret Thatcher who is well known for falling over in the Duke's head. And as I was saying, schools today are quite a bit different from the schools I went to, the old Martin Bormann Comprehensive. That was probably the last school in England to retain capital punishment. And, of course, the teachers weren't really up to today's standard by any means. Well, not at all up to today's standard. I mean, I remember our games master. Now, his only qualification was a rudimentary knowledge of bingo and a small win on the Easy Six. And I recall that the teacher who took us in sex education was very, very shy. In fact, he was so shy, he used to shut himself in a cupboard and shout through a knothole. Now, Most people's introduction to the subject, you know, is the birds and the bees. Mine was a disembodied voice shouting, "Some do and some don't," and "Hello, sailor." For the more advanced students, you know, he used to put on a black stocking and stick his leg out of the door. Even when I eventually, no, this is true, even when I eventually got married to my dear, lovely wife, who is at this moment, well, somewhere or other. Even when we got married, I was so shy that we hardly spoke from the time we shook hands at the altar until I waved to her from my window of my room in the YMCA Torremolinos. Actually, the marriage was my dad's idea, you see. She was the girl next door, and her father had an electric drill. Now, I seem to have forgotten a very funny joke I was going to... Oh, yes, I know. Last, I've got it. And I've also remembered the joke I was going to tell you, but anyway. A chap goes into a restaurant, and he said to the waiter, he said, I'd like some cold vegetable soup with some chopped raincoat, and perhaps a cigarette end in it, and then I'd like the chef, if he would, to take a sirloin steak and set light to it, let it burn for a while, then drop it in the sink, and... Well, he said, just a minute, just a moment, sir. He said, we can't possibly serve a meal like that. And the man said, why not? You did it yesterday.
Deuteronomy 22, verses 2 to 5.
I beg your pardon?
Deuteronomy 22, verses 2 to 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 Kings 8, 7 to 14.
Oh, really? You do surprise me. I should have thought Micah 2:40.
Oh, no, you're forgetting Zebediah 9, 13, down to I wot not what she gets.
Oh, of course. Ruth 13, 10 to 11.
No, the way I heard it, it was Daniel 3.
Oh, yes. But surely that would mean Nahum 7, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, but surely not if it's done with taste.
No. Isaiah 2, 7 to 8.
Leviticus.
Judges 14.
Nehemiah 10.
Amos 22.
Nehemiah 10.
Haggai 12.
Nehemiah 10.
Yes, well, of course, it's all right for you. You're married. Yes.
So this is Colditz. Never keep me in here. Just testing you.
Hello there.
My name's Carter. George Carter. How are you?
I'm Dickie.
Not feeling so good myself, you know. How long have you been cooped up in here, then?
4 years.
4 years, eh? No wonder you're feeling dicky. Have you ever thought about trying to escape?
No, my name's Dickie.
Oh, I see, sorry.
And don't think you're going to escape from here. This place is impregnable.
Don't you believe it? That's what they said about Doreen Phipps, how wrong they were.
Were they?
Well, I'm paying a 30 bob a week, judge for yourself. No, we'll soon get out of here.
Oh, you better have a word with Captain Whitmore.
Oh, where is he?
I'm not quite sure, as a matter of fact. I'd rather...
Hello, I'm stuck in here. The door seems to have jammed in here.
Yes, that's him. Coming! All right. All right, hang on. All right.
Oh, thank God. Oh, how do you do? I'm the escape officer.
How do you do, sir? My name's Carter.
Whitmore. Sorry about the oil can. I can't get it off my finger. I was oiling my bed springs the other day.
Oiling the bed springs? Is this a mixed dormitory, isn't it?
What? Oh, yes, rather. Oh, yes, yes. Officers and men, yes.
I see what you mean, got me going there. Thought for a while I wouldn't bother to escape after all.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Carter, but I'm afraid the only woman on the camp is matron.
What's she like?
Blonde and big with it.
I like big women.
Luckily, she's a vegetarian.
Why?
She'd have you for breakfast.
I see, that's the way of it. Well, I'm going to get her out of here straight away.
Now, just a minute, Carter, just a minute. It's not as easy as that. We have a code of conduct in here. Of course you want to escape, everybody does. But it has to be organized. You need money, clothing, a cover story, and all this means is there's none of this go-it-alone stuff. Now, we've built up a team of experts in here to deal with every aspect. Now, every escape must be planned, and planned down to the very last minute detail. Do you understand?
Lieutenant Carter.
Yeah?
Hauptmann Ulrich wishes to speak with you. He is second in command. You will wash, shave, and be ready to report in half an hour.
Keep your hair on, Fritzy, then.
I have no hair, and I have no time to waste.
Touchy lot, aren't they, eh? All right.
It's you, Carter. Sit down, please.
There's no chair.
Well, then stand. We don't run this place for your comfort, Carter. Now, just one or two things I would like you to know before you commence your stay here in Colditz. This is a top security prison. There's no escape. Do you understand? From now on, you're in the hands of superior prison officers. Should you attempt to escape, here is a list of the men you would have to deal with. Hauptmann Leitz, Sturmbannführer Schmeling, Standartenführer Häsler, Unterwebel Blattau, and Gruppenveranstalter Großler Pintwinkler. You understand all this?
Yes, luckily my father kept a delicatessen.
Really?
Yeah, that was before he was in show business.
Show business? Huh. I like show business. What did he do?
He was an escapologist.
Well, Flight Lieutenant Carter, I hope you won't entertain any sorts of escape from here, following in your father's footsteps.
Because I can assure you, escape from Colditz is impossible.
means you will not manage it. Now then, here is your prison number and the address to which a letter should be sent. It will be forwarded to your family via the Red Cross. Do you understand?
Yes, perfectly. You realize it's the duty of every officer to try and escape, don't you?
Of course I realize it, Flight Lieutenant. I just thought that I would save you a little time and energy. After all, I can think of many better ways of spending the time. Don't you agree?
I suppose you're right.
Quiet. I think he's coming back.
Is that you, Carter?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Pretty well. Another couple of feet.
Oh, thanks so much. How much further have we got to go?
I told you, 2 more feet.
Oh, gee, I thought you meant 2 more feet. Oh, yes, sir.
Good, Chatham. Thank you very much. Is it someone else's turn to provide the socks? How about you, Whitmore?
No, I've got a potato in mind.
Well, if this goes on much longer, I should be able to grow them in mine.
Look out, matron. Morning, matron. How are you both?
I am happy to inform you that the RAF have dropped a load of Red Cross parcels for you.
Oh, Mom.
Unfortunately, when they hit the ground, they were shattered completely. Only one survived.
Oh, why?
I was sunbathing on the roof, and it landed on top of me. It bounced.
Yes, it would.
Bring it in, please.
What? Oh, the box. Right here. Thank you, Taffy. Oh, well, no wonder it bounced. It's a load of balls. Hello, chaps. New balls.
All clear.
Right, this is it, lads. I'm going to make my final bid for freedom. If I'm not back within 3 hours, come down the tunnel and investigate.
Right. Good luck, Carter. Drop us a postcard.
I'll do better than that. When I get to France, I'll send you a letter.
Oh, thanks very much. Thanks. Right. Well, all we've got to do now is wait. Well, it's 3 hours later. I'm going through to investigate. Good Lord. What are you doing?
You've got to take it when you can get it.
You never told me the tunnel came out in Matron's bedroom.
Pure coincidence. Bit of luck, though, ain't it? Got to work this time.
I don't see why it shouldn't. We've got money and papers. Once we get over that wall, we stand a damn good chance.
Got the sheets tied together?
Only 2. Most of the lads were damn mean about giving us the sheets. Damn selfish baskets. You were the only one who volunteered.
That's all right.
Only 2 sheets? How high is this wall?
80 feet.
Well, we'll just have to drop the last bit. Come on. You look fine, honestly. Well, goodbye, Chapman, old sport. See you again when this damn show's over.
Yes.
Thanks for the sheets, Dickie.
Welcome. Bye. 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 Who needs sheets? Coming, matron!
We're over. Are you all right?
It's fine. Bit of a headache. I suggest we stay put under the shadow of the wall till morning.
Good idea. Good idea. Good night.
Good night, old boy. Bye.
Good morning, gentlemen. So, you got over the wall, did you? You will be sorry, I can assure you. Welcome to Butlets.
Well, that's all for tonight. Next week, we'll be asking some searching questions on education, for instance. Can cross-eyed teachers control their pupils?
And on divers with chicken pox. Do they really come up to scratch?
And for music lovers, the Birmingham Bean Ensemble will amalgamate with the Birmingham Radish Ensemble to form the Birmingham Wind Ensemble.
Now, a few items of late news. Sir Hartley Withers, the explorer, had a fantastic escape today. He was being chased by 3 hungry lions, and they were only 2 feet behind him when 1,000 to 1 chance. He was eaten by a crocodile.
And a seed firm in Luton claim they have grown a new kind of lettuce that enables men to live to a great age and retain their virility. If you want any of these seeds, please write to Dunmore and Sons and Sons and Sons and Sons.
What utter nonsense. And they taste revolting anyway. A news flash. A last news flash has just handed to me here, reveals that W.H. Smiths are to ban a 1,000-piece nude jigsaw of Tom Jones, unless 73 pieces are withdrawn. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.